minutes and 21 seconds of the clock with Gordon Banks scoring from 19 yards out. If they can just keep this consistency, it's going to be exactly what they want.
Kevin Shea booms this one in and out of the end zone and in and out of the arms of Marcus Bonner, and so the Gunslingers will put it in play. First down at the 20-yard line. We talked about the fact that the Invaders might possibly put the ball up. In fact, there was some talk on the field before the game. They may put it up as many as 50 times today. Of course, if they get a big lead, they won't have to. But that's the way they started out, like they are going to throw a lot.
They want to stay with their game plan. It'd be foolish for them to all of a sudden assume they're a running team. They're a throwing team. They've got to get the ball in the air. Averaging 145 yards a game total offense is not the Oakland Invaders game.
No, hardly. Of course, things looking up to in terms of the blitz, of being sacked, rather. 1 sack last week. That was a vast improvement over what has gone on in the first 3 weeks. And so far today, of course, Fred Bassan has not been sacked, nor have the Gunslingers blitzed, something they did with great regularity last week. Hackett starts in motion, now turns around, comes the other way. The give this time to the up back, and this to the outside is Al Penn White. He's got room, 35-40, 45 midfield, out of bounds the 47-yard line.
I guess actually you're going to say he stepped out about the 43, 44-yard line. That is exactly what Gil Steinke was talking about, that guy. He says he's got good acceleration and lateral movement. And here you see him come out, and he pops to the outside. You can't let a guy get a pop out there like that. He's really got good speed, but I think he gets so enthused and wants to make for the sidelines right there. He steps out of bounds, but he's going to pretend he didn't notice that and keep right on going. There's Al Penn White.
From southeast Oklahoma, 6 feet 198. Actually, at 6 feet 198, he is one of the bigger backs that the Gunslingers have. To the near side this time comes Glenn Starks. They've been putting Hackett, the tight end, in the slot. And to the far side, Danny Buggs, by far their leading receiver. And I mean by far. He's caught 14 balls. The next closest to him is Hackett, who is now in motion. He's caught 4. Give it to the fullback this time. That is Stamper. And Stamper getting some tough yards. He had a very good game last week against the LA Express. He's one of those squat kinds of runners who manages always to get his shoulders going in the right direction.
Exactly. If you had to make an analogy, he's kind of like looks like a Bill Ring. He's 5'9", 205. And he runs real hard. There's Scott out of Fort Lewis. This is second year in the pros, I guess last year in the USFL. But 5'9", 204 is just a perfect height to be blocking linebackers because they never see you coming.
Stamper turned a 3rd and short situation last week into a 35-yard gain, and he really surprised people with the fact that once he turned the corner and got outside, he had a little bit of speed and started to run with some of the deep backs. Neuheisel pitch back to Penn White this time. He's surrounded but cuts it back very well and at least gets back to the line of scrimmage. Might have gained a yard or 2.
Great containment by the Invaders there. They got good inside support afterwards. It's the kind of defense, if they can keep this aggressive, blitzing, man-to-man type defense they're playing right now, it's going to really bode well for them against an inexperienced quarterback like Rick Neuheisel.
Frank Manamalayuna coming over to make the tackle, but he had a lot of help that time on the right side. Gil Steinke looking on. There's his coaching record. Last 3 years he had at Texas A&I. He was undefeated. I guess you don't get much better than that.
12-0, 13-0, and then 12-0 again.
Hackett again starts in motion, turns it upfield now. Neuheisel a throw on the run, throws for Hackett, can't hang on, and I believe Daryl Hart got a hand on that ball very well.
Well, it's one of those things where as an offensive lineman, you're standing behind, you see him hit him in the chest or so, and the ball bounces out. But neither one of these teams up to date have been using their tight end rather exclusively, so in a way, that's almost an excuse for a guy like that.
We talk about the fact that Danny Buggs, the leading receiver, has 14 catches. Rodney Parker started the game on the other side last week, and after that, they cut him. I mean, they didn't demote him. They cut him.
It's kind of like the Russian army, Barry. You're either in good graces or you're digging up snow in Siberia.
So you've got Buggs with 14 catches, and combined, all the other receivers on the team, including the tight ends, Hartley really nailed this one, including the tight ends, have 7 catches. Hartley nails it in and out of the end zone, nailed it just a little bit too much that time. So when the Invaders have the ball, they will take it over at the 20-yard line, leading 7-0, 7:03 remaining first period, and we'll be back to Alamo Stadium right after this. 7 minutes and 3 seconds remaining to be played here in the first period. The Invaders moved 47 yards the first time they had the ball. Didn't look like they were looking back over their shoulders one bit.
Not really, but I think, Barry, we're going to see the real game plans now. They're going to have to go 80 yards. The Gunslingers can play their style of defense, and now the Invaders are going to have to show that they can really consistently hold and contain a real drive.
Gordon Banks comes to the near side as the Invaders start at the 20. Smith to the far side. I formation. The up back is Whittington. They line Thompson up on the wing now and bring him in motion. Basana pitch back to Whittington. Cuts it back against the grain. A little bit of room across the 20 to about the 23. Shut down pretty well, but Whittington does that extremely well.
He's dangerous. He has a low center of gravity. He can really speed, especially laterally. Put Choate made a tackle there. You know, we were talking earlier, Barry, that is a heck of a linebacker. Last year with Denver, second team All-USFL, picked up in the expansion draft, and he's a guy really worth noting. He could probably play really on any level of football.
They come to the line of scrimmage again. In the I formation once more with Banks to the near side on 2nd and 7. Smith to the far side. Long count for Basana this time. Straight back to pass he goes out of the backfield. This is Whittington at the 20, at the 25, at the 30. Tries to get by that last man. Can't quite do it, but gets a first down at the 36-yard line.
Very good play by Fred Basana. He took advantage of one of those blitzes we spoke of earlier and dumped it off in the flat out there to King Arthur. Here you see Put Choate, middle of your screen there, blitz. He just dumps it off to Arthur, and there's nobody out there. Gets a good block, cuts the one guy down, and we're getting out of bounds. If he could have made the corner, it would have been 6.
So another first down, and once more the offense of the Invaders looking very sharp right now. Smith comes to the near side this time on first down. One setback, that is Whittington. Kind of a double wing here, and now in motion goes Thompson to the far side. Pitch to Whittington at the right side. Whittington again cuts it back up the middle, gets a couple to about the 37, maybe to the 38-yard line.
Not much there at all. It's going to be about 2nd and 9 here coming up.
Paul Hanna makes the tackle, a nose guard of the middle. Not really the nose guard because they do show a 4-man front, so we'll call him the left tackle.
See Arthur talking to some of his offensive linemen there as he goes back to the huddle. I don't blame him. You get a situation like that, you almost don't even want to look at running back in the face after you get smacked pretty good.
So it'll be 2nd and 8. They give him 2 yards. That was generous. Banks comes to the near side and Smith to the far side. In motion this time goes Newton off the wing. And the give once more is to Whittington. Turns it upfield. Gets across the 40 to about the 46. It'll bring about a 3rd down and about 5. Long 5 or short 6. Mike St. Clair made the tackle defensively for the Gunslingers.
That was a good play with Jim Leonard, the right guard, just pulled out a little short trap on the outside linebacker. They double down on the end, they double down on the nose, and it cuts off a lot of that inside pursuit.
Jordan comes on once more. Jordan has come on in passing situations, which this certainly is on 3rd and 5. Arthur Whittington leaves. Jordan and Newton are the backs now split behind Basana. Let's see if they do bring Jordan up now in the slot inside of Gordon Banks. Ron Smith to the far side. The crowd's starting to get into the game a little bit. Basana short drop, floats it up here for Banks. Can he catch up? No.
Almost right there. He could have maybe dove. You can only second guess something like that. That's AstroTurf out there, and nobody wants to dive on AstroTurf.
Rock Richmond defending and doing everything he could.
What's up, Darren?
Basana, nice touch pass. That was a pass that you could not throw here last week. The wind was just terrible, and anytime the nose of the football got up in the air, you never knew where it was going. Not so today. Absolutely beautiful conditions. It is a little breezy, but it's not a deterrent, I don't think, to any ball put up in the air. So Rick Talley will come on to do the punting. Stan Talley, that is. And the Gunslingers showing a 10-man front. Marcus Bonner, the deep man, stands at the 20-yard line. And they come after this one. They did block a punt last week. Talley really roots this one. I mean, really nailed it. And can he get the hop? Too much of a hop. Into the end zone. Sent that punt 59 yards. But a little bit too much into the end zone, so the Gunslingers will put it in play at the 20-yard line. And once more, this Invader machine ticking right along. 4:14 remain to be played. First period, the Invaders lead it 7-0.
Just the way right now, what's that? It's going to be the Gamblers that next home game, isn't it, Bear?
I believe it is. What did I say?
They're playing the kind of ball that we saw them play last year, and we expected them to play most of this season up to this date.
What's in a name? I've always said that.
Oh, yeah.
Ball at the 20-yard line. Rick Neuheisel, quarterback. Inside handoff this time. A little confusion in there. And the give was to Scott Stamper, who never got started.
Good quick. An attempt at a good quick trap. Thwarted by David Shaw, number 58. That was a real nice play. Got into the offensive backfield and broke up that play.
Dean Moore also in on that play defensively. Dean Moore, interesting guy, professional saxophonist. He's a licensed barber. He also has a brown belt in Taekwondo Karate. So don't make fun of him playing the saxophone is what it all comes down to.
He's either gonna knock you out or cut your hair about it.
Hackett is in the slot on 2nd down and 10. Invader defense really doing the job so far. Give this time is to the up back. That is Stamper once more, but there's not much doing there again. I beg your pardon. Running back that time was Al Penn White. Frank Manamaliuna there to make the stop.
Stamper made a beautiful block on number 73, Dave Browner, like an ISO with it. Just let the defensive end go. And you see that 5'9", 204 pounds coming at you about 3 inches off the ground. There's not a lot you can do except for jump out of the way.
3rd down and 6. Ball at the 24-yard line. Gunslingers hurry to the line of scrimmage here. 2:45 remaining first period. Straight back to pass Neuheisel. Here comes McClanahan over the middle to Hackett at the 35, 40 to about the 43-yard line. So that time they got just enough of the blitz. Actually, McClanahan was there.
Exactly. That's the price you pay. And that blitz was coming hard. McClanahan was almost there, and I don't even know if Neuheisel sees him. He has a blind side, and you see Joey Hackett right here grab that ball. He's not a speed merchant. And that's probably one of the reasons they don't throw a whole lot to him. But if the Invaders keep bringing the outside linebackers as much as they are at this point, that middle section and a lot of the seam and the quick hooks are going to be open for that tight end.
Hackett's 5th catch of this 1984 season, and a big one for 19 yards and the first down of the ball game for the Gunslingers. In motion goes Hackett once again. Neuheisel straight back to pass this time. Looks around. Now he needs some help. Doesn't find it. Fumbles the football. Who's got it? I think Williams got it back for San Antonio again. It'll be his 2nd fumble recovery of the day.
Rick Neuheisel is one of those quarterbacks you kind of dread to play behind or in front of when you're an offensive lineman. You're never really quite sure where he's going to be. He gets about halfway back. First few seconds, he's going to look around here. Well, he's not open. Well, I think I'll run. And you can't see. You can't pick that extra guy up because that guy was probably check blitzing. We call it linebacker. We're just watching the running back. Running back goes to block. He's going to blitz. So once more, the Invaders taking a couple of chances and having them pay off. It'll be 2nd and 16. Hackett lines up in the slot this time. The running backs are Penn White and Stamper. Straight back is Neuheisel. Deep drop. Took about a 10-yard drop. And right there for the grab is Danny Buggs at the 40-yard line. Gary Plummer drags him down, but a big first down and the 15th catch of the year for Buggs. Got some good pass protection that time and just threaded the needle. And that's the kind of pass that Danny Buggs has pretty much specialized in his whole career. You see, he doesn't get a whole lot of pressure, steps right up, zips it in there. Buggs can really hurt you going across the middle in those deep seams because he is 6'3" or so, and he's a pretty stocky or firmly built guy, and he can take those hits from the safeties.
I'll tell you, Randy, I haven't seen a quarterback take a deeper drop than Neuheisel has. It looks to me like he's taken about 8 steps.
It's really to the advantage of a younger quarterback like that. When he is young and he is quick, he can get back. The further the better, and he gives him more time to look around.
This time a slot right with Hackett in the slot. Neuheisel might be checking off here. Gives this time to Stamper. Turns it upfield. Gets those shoulders square again and turns it into a gain of 3, maybe 4 yards.
Dave Browning on the tackle.
Seems the offensive line now for San Antonio is starting to get their feel of the game. And we might want to pay a little more attention. We spoke of earlier that matchup at the center position and nose guard between Marshall and Winters.
Yeah, we'll try to take a look at that. In fact, we'll try to isolate on some of those individual matchups as time goes on, but we have reached the end of the first quarter. So time runs out on the Oakland Invaders, and right now, Mo seems to be changing just a little bit here. The Invaders had it all for most of the first period. Gunslingers on the move. End of 1, 7-0. The Oakland Invaders over the San Antonio Gunslingers. We'll be back.
Well, here's the fairgrounds. We've got to deliver the shrub.
Just drop back and let her fly and let that ball go. They're having their problems running against the Invaders right now, except for that one big run, so I would look for them to keep the ball in the air.
I formation now on 2nd and 7. Al Penn White is the up back in the I. Now the back split. Hackett in the slot. Starks to the near side, Buggs to the far side. Neuheisel gives to Al Penn White this time, and he slips it upfield and gets a gain of about 5, maybe 6 yards. Frank Manamaliuna makes the stop.
Like I said, they're not having much of a hard time running the ball right yet. Heck, if you can do that, there's your first quarter stats, Bear.
And you can see 56 passing yards for the Invaders to 28, but the balance seems to be with the Gunslingers right now, and they are moving the football. Ball at the 30-yard line. It was enough for a first down, so a gain of 7 on that last play. Once more, it's Al Penn White, Scott Stamper, the backs set behind Rick Neuheisel. Starks to the near side. This is the same set as the last time. Hackett in the slot. Buggs to the far side. This is Stamper at the left side. Tries to turn it upfield. Good balance again. Gets a gain of about 4 yards. Actually, right now, the offensive line of the Gunslingers, Randy, really getting off the ball very well.
Well, the coaches say at least Spivey and Rich Garza are probably their better drive blockers, and that's what they're doing right now, is just coming off the ball and letting the lead back you know, whether it be Penn White or Bonner, come out and block for Scamper and take the 3-4 yards at a crack, especially at this point of the game. Oakland had real good momentum going. San Antonio comes out and is in the process of driving down the field. It looks like Randy McClanahan